Why are men cruel? What is it that teaches them this, and why are they so afraid of being gentle? Who taught us that caring too much gets us hurt? Who said that cruelty is strength? A gentle man is a dead man in their minds, but the opposite is true. Gentle men are the strongest because cruelty kills the man inside. Most men would rather die than cry, rather break than bend, and rather wound than heal. We are taught that to be gentle is to be feminine. Men policing men, punishing softness wherever it appears. A boy cries, he is shamed. A man shows tenderness, he is mocked. A father hugs his son too long, he is questioned. This is how gentleness dies. The fear of gentleness runs very deep. Many men stumble through life like a drunkard trying to cross a tightrope. Each step is shaped by fear of falling and by forceful attempts not to fall. In sober moments, the man can see how brave gentleness is the deepest strength. When something terrible happens, the drunkard can act bravely. That is not hard. What is hard is keeping a soft, kind hand and heart day by day and moment by moment. Men are terrified of being gentle, and that fear creates stony hearts. It produces a love that keeps hanging back in sulks for fear of being mocked when its time comes. In public life, great chances for mutual connection and sharing feelings of brotherhood pass in silence. On the one hand, a great leader dies begging that men take off their heavy shoes, remember that they are brothers, and pick very carefully on each other. On the other hand, men respond with the trading of forced words and empty gestures. Most men are terrified because their fathers were stone, their grandfathers were stone. Generation after generation of men who forgot how to feel and confused cruelty with strength. We are raising boys to be emotional cripples, teaching them that half of human experience is forbidden. But what we create are not strong men. We create broken men, men who cannot love properly, cannot connect deeply, and cannot heal completely. Men who are afraid of their gentleness, who see it as a flaw instead of a gift and crush it before it can bloom. The world is full of these half-men, these emotional amputees walking around with hearts they cannot access, feelings they cannot name, and needs they cannot express. Most of us will die before we discover our capacity for care, our ability to nurture, and our gift for healing. We choose the armor over the heart, the mask over the face, and the world will be poorer for it. Watch how men hold babies like grenades. Watch how they say goodbye without looking back. Their fathers loved them from a distance. Their sons will learn the same cold mathematics. Gentleness gets bred out of boys like a defect, like something shameful that must be corrected. The cruel man thinks he is powerful, but he is just repeating what was done to him. He hits because he was hit. He abandons because he was abandoned. He destroys because destruction is the only language he knows how to speak fluently. Constructing is much more difficult than deconstructing. To mend, to raise, and to renew is much more difficult than to destroy. And yet, we continue to destroy and ignore what needs care and attention. Sometimes we find no one to teach us that pain could become something other than more pain. So, we pass it down, from father to son, from husband to wife, from the powerful to the powerless. The cycle continues because we're better at creating cruel men than healing them. And we expect victims to heal, but we forget that monsters were once children too. The cruel man's first memory is probably someone being cruel to him, but nobody cares about that part of the story. We want our villains clean. We want them born evil so we don't have to think about how we make them. A cruel man is just a broken child who grew up without anyone teaching him how to be gentle. Let us prove that gentleness is possible, that we can be soft and still be strong, that the future does not have to repeat the past. that sons do not have to become their fathers, that broken can become whole, that hard can become tender, and that afraid can become brave.